I had another dream last night, and I didn't talk about this one because I was like, but I decided I'm going to tell it anyway. So, I woke up, it felt like I woken up in the middle of what appeared to be a yoga class. It was kind of like a small class, and there was somebody leading, but I picked up quickly that this was like a bunch of different spiritualists. And I told them that I'm Roma, and one of them gave me like a really dirty look. And I remember thinking like, I'm not safe here. And then anyway, I left the area and walked to like this very like, it was almost like an outdoor beach, but like divided up into like almost like a town or something. And they were handing out these cups that I noticed were changing color based off of who held it. And I was looking at them for a while, and I was like, are these cups the color of people's aura? And I remember tasting bubblegum. I don't remember ever tasting any kind of flavor ever in my dream, but I distinctly remember not seeing the color of my cup, but remember tasting bubblegum and thinking, well, I must have a pink aura. Because I just, have been taught from birth that pink means bubblegum. Anyway, I walked over, and because somebody in my, people in the dream were like, yeah, actually, that is exactly what it is. And I was like, okay. And I walked over to this other side. I realized that the area was like binary, like sex segregated. And I was like, so it was almost like the area I was put into was like 4 people assigned female at birth and presumed to be women, even though obviously the binary is bullshit. And I walked over to this other segment, and it was clear that I like went through a gate, and I was now in an area that the people on the other side couldn't escape. And I walked over, and I could tell that I was like almost being hunted. And then I saw a bunch of young, like masculine people, and I was like, oh. And they like started to almost like chase me, and I ran back to the other side because I was like, I'm not dealing with this. And then I walked back to like the little bar area where the drinks were being passed out, and there was like an older masculine person, and he was like clearly like the leader of a cult, you know what I mean? Anyway, I got to talking to him, and I was like, hey, what's going on over there? And he was like, oh, that's where we put the young men who aren't, available to treat people with respect. And I was like, oh. And I stood there for a second. And then one of the last things I remember is asking him, well, what makes you think that you belong over here rather than over there? And I remember I've never seen a dream person stumped before. But they were literally like, damn. And I was like, well. And then I woke up shortly after, and he had like a little handler next to him who was pretty much like of the same mental state. But yeah, anyway, there's another dream for you.